Hello and welcome to this video and my attempt at another book challenge. It's currently Bank Holiday Monday and I am now off for another week. But Pete and Eloise are back to work and nursery tomorrow, so Tuesday. So I thought I would have a little attempt at a reading challenge to see if I can read across the week for 24 hours. So typically I probably read for about an hour each night, maybe add in a little bit more, so I would say probably on average I read maybe 9-10 hours a week. So upping that to 24 is a lot. Myself and Pete had a discussion the other day about whether I should include audiobooks or not. So I actually have set myself my timer already, although I've not read anything yet, but I've got 2 timers on here. So I'm going to do one with audiobooks and one without. So the purists who don't think it's reading will be happy, and also to make myself feel a bit better, because I don't think I'm going to manage it, but we're going to give it a go. So I've read 4 pages of this, so Love Struck by Laura Jane Williams. So this is my first book that I will be working on throughout the week. I imagine it'll be the only physical book that I'm working on throughout the week. Because although I'm off, I do have some plans and some things that I'd like to get done. So I'm not just going to be sitting for 3 days while she's at nursery reading, but I'm going to try and prioritise. So this is my main read. She basically does a manifestation ceremony because she wants to find the one, and her ex texts back after that. So does she see it as a sign? So it follows 2 timelines of one where she replies to the ex-boyfriend and one where she doesn't. And I'm just kind of intrigued in how they're going to do the 2 timelines. But yeah, that is my read. It's got lovely sprayed edges. I also have on my phone, I'm sort of halfway through Happy Place by Emily Henry, which I'm reading on there. I don't really like reading on my phone, but it's the only way I got it. I got it for free through an O2 deal thing. So I've got that for other points. And audiobook wise, I haven't actually decided what I'm going to read for that one. I think I saw on BBC Sound that they had a Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang on there, so I might give that a go if that is the case. But I need to have a little hunt around really to see what's available for me that I can listen to. So yeah, come along with me while we give this a go. I'm now going to go and sit in the garden with my book and make a start on this 24-hour challenge. I'll try and check in with you at points to let you know how I'm getting on. So that is the plan. Let's see how we get on. So it's now Tuesday. I managed just short of 2 hours of reading yesterday. So I haven't worked out how much I'm supposed to do a day. I think it's probably about 3 and a bit maybe, so obviously I'm behind. But yesterday, as I said, was a bank holiday and the family were here and all of that. But today is a normal day. Pete's playing paddle and then going to work. Eloise is at nursery. So I've got the day. So let's see how much we can get done. I am going out into town. I'm planning to go see to the cinema, but I've done a vlog of what I actually get up to this week rather than including it in here. But yeah, so let's see what we get up to today. I do still need to pick an audiobook though. So I'm back from my jaunt in town and I was listening to Yellow Face on iPlayer, and if you can see by the top one, that's the one with the audiobook, although it may not be entirely correct. About 2 hours I was listening to it, which seems about right. However, I finished it and I'm not sure whether that's the whole of the audiobook or whether it's like an abridged version. The one on the library app is 9 hours long and I certainly haven't listened to 9 hours today, but also I feel like I've completed the story. So I don't know what I've actually listened to. It was fun. Do I record it as a book I've read? I don't know. Maybe. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna do a few things on here and then back to Love Struck. So I've done a bit of Googling. it is an abridged version, so I'll keep it on my tally of listening, but I'm not going to record it in my reading because I don't feel I've actually done the book. So that's where we're at with Yellow Face, which is a bit of a pain because that would have been helpful because that could have ticked off my literary fiction prompt for the What Victoria Read reading challenge, but alas, it's not going to. But now, Love Struck. Right, day 3 of trying to read for 24 hours this week. Here are my timers. The top one is with audio, the bottom one is without. As you can see, I'm struggling. We're 2 days in, and technically if we're discounting audiobooks, I've read just under 4 hours. So I really need to get a wiggle on with that. The audiobook version is slightly healthier, as I thought it would be, because I can go and do things whilst, listening to a book. So I am now 182 pages through Love Struck. I am enjoying this book. I did think having the 2 timelines, if I actually explain what this is. So we're following our main character, Becca. She's about 35, I think they say, and she really wants to settle down and have a child and all of that, but she doesn't have a partner. So she has a manifestation ceremony, and straight after that her ex texts her, and it's following 2 timelines, one where she texts him back and one where she doesn't. And I didn't know how, I was intrigued how they would do it. It's like a dual POV, but instead of people's names, we have she texts back, she doesn't text back. And I am following it well, which I wasn't sure because sometimes I can get a bit lost with these things. As I said, I am enjoying it, although I do think some of the plot points in it are a bit weak, a bit confusing why they've decided to do that. Certainly for some of the side characters. But it is a reasonably easy read. Obviously in 2 days I've managed to get myself almost halfway through it, which never happens on a normal week, so that's a bonus. So yeah, working my way through. I reckon it'll probably be about a 3.5, 4 star, but we've still got a way to go. And there are definitely things that could annoy me, so we'll see how that gets on. I have also actually selected an audiobook. So I went through the Libby app yesterday to try and find a book that was available now that I could listen to. And I settled on The First Day of Spring by Nancy Tucker, which is a book that I've had on my radar for a little while but not picked up, and unlikely to pick up, although if it wasn't a charity shop maybe I would have done. But hey, we've got it on audio now. And this is following Chrissy by the looks of it. I believe she committed a crime as a child. I don't know how severe that crime is, but then 15 years later there's a mum with her daughter, and she's struggling to feed her, get her to school, all of that kind of stuff, like school shoes, that kind of thing. And she's worried that social services are going to take her child away. And then there's a call. And the mum, I'm guessing, is the same child that committed the crime. At the end here it says, "And it's time to face the truth. Is forgiveness and redemption ever possible for someone who was killed?" So yeah, she must have killed a kid or something. I haven't explained that at all well because I don't 100% know what this book is about. I just heard it's good. It's a mystery, so it should be easy enough to listen to. It always depends on the narrator though, so I will probably start that at some point today as I'm pottering about. So those are the 2 reads. In theory, I'm at home all day today. In theory, I should get a lot read, but I have a to-do list also that's like the size of my arm, so I don't know what I'm actually going to do. So we'll see, but hopefully I get a bit further through these. I'm sort of liking the fact that I'm getting roughly 100 pages read of this a day, so it'd be good to keep that up, because then I might actually get another book read in this video, but we'll see. So yeah, let's get on, let's do the day, let's see where we get to on these timers, and yeah, get reading. Can you hear that? That's an awful lot of rain, but it makes quite nice ambient sound for reading. Yeah, I'm still going with this one. So another day, another reading update for this challenge that is not going to plan really. Those are my times. The top one is with audiobooks, the bottom ones are without. What I've found is that although I have probably read more because of the challenge, I've also not read perhaps when I would be reading because of the challenge. Basically it just feels like there's like a pressure to it, so it's kind of making me not want to pick up books. Like I probably would have picked up my audiobook for a lot longer yesterday. Instead I listened to a podcast instead rather than my audiobook. So that kind of thing. But I am about 300 pages through Love Struck. I don't have it with me at the moment. And I am enjoying that one. There's some, I think I said this last time, there are some like subplots that I'm not too keen on. But in general it's entertaining enough, it's easy enough to get through. I'm hoping to finish it today, but I don't think I will. I'm basically out for most of today, and I'm not going to take that book with me. So I'm not sure how much we're going to get rid of that, but Pete is also out tonight. But I do want to finish Bridgerton. But yeah, that kind of thing. So that, and I've listened to 3 chapters of The First Day of Spring by Nancy Tucker, I think it is. And I'm intrigued. I really have enjoyed sort of the voice of it. We're currently going between the 2 perspectives of Chrissy and Julia. I think I explained it badly to you in a previous clip. Chrissy is a younger girl who's killed a little boy. There seems to be quite a naivety to her as well, because I don't think with 3 chapters in is a spoiler. She asked the question of when will he come back. I don't think she's fully understood that dead means forever. So yeah, there's a real naivety to her, but also she has killed a little boy, so there's not a naivety there either. And then with Julia, she's got her own daughter and she's very neurotic, but also not very caring, I guess. Caring's probably not the right word. She doesn't really show outwardly her sort of love and stuff to her daughter. So intrigued. Probably I'm going to be listening to it. I'm going to be listening to it more today. As I said, I'm out and about, so I'll be walking about some more, and I plan to listen to that. And if I get a chance to, well, I will get a chance to sit down, I'll probably read Happy Place on my phone, because that also makes sense to me. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We'll see how far we get again today, and I think it's going to be mainly an audiobook day today. Yeah. So I'm now home from my little jaunt out. You may be able to tell, you probably can't, but I've had my hair cut, so that was the main reason I was out. And while I've been out, I have been listening to my audio book, which I'm just going to pull up, which is The First Day of Spring. There we go. The First Day of Spring by Nancy Tucker. And I'm now about halfway through. I'm 49% through the book. I'm actually really enjoying it. If you can enjoy this kind of book where it's about, you know, a slightly deranged child who murders a kid. But I think it's done very well and very cleverly, and sort of she seems weirdly likeable, although she's not, and all of that kind of stuff. And the person that's narrating this, which I think is Kirsten Atherton, I think is her name, she's doing like an amazing job. It's probably the best audiobook I've listened to in terms of narration style. I've really gotten on board with her, and she obviously does a lot of these, and she can change her voice and stuff. So I'm not struggling at finding out who the children are and all of that kind of stuff, and where we are and all of that kind of thing. So I think she's doing great, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and listening to that. But as I said, I've got just under 6 hours left on it, so I probably will listen to a bit more today, as I sort out the kitchen and stuff later on. I've read a little bit of Happy Place, not that you know where I was to begin with. I think I've only read like 2 chapters today, maybe a chapter. So I'm 58% through that one. I think I started at 52%, so I've not made much dent in that. So, but in terms of the timers, let me pull those up as well. So in terms of the timers, I'm just under 11 hours for the one with the audiobook, and then 17 hours for none. Obviously having an audiobook makes it easier, because that feels like quite doable to do 24 hours within the week. With the audiobook, without the audiobook, it's not going to happen, because I've got today, and I will probably go and read some more now, or at least in a little bit, and then Friday could read during her nap, although I do need to actually edit some videos, so probably should do that. So will I get as much time? So it might just be the normal hour or so that I get in the evening. And then Saturday and Sunday, obviously Pete's off work, so we tend to do stuff like during her nap we'll probably be cleaning, all of that kind of stuff. So that one seems much less likely, but the one with the audiobook, I feel like I could potentially do it. So there we go. As I said, I think I might go and grab Love Struck by Laura Jane Williams and see if I can get that one finished today, maybe. I've got about 100 pages left, and I've been probably reading just under that, maybe like 90 pages. So if I push myself, I probably could finish it today, certainly if I do a bit of reading now. So yeah, positive. So I've done it. I have finished Love Struck by Laura Jane Williams. I had about 25 pages left last night, but it got to a point where I was like, I really should go to sleep rather than finish this book, because I had a driving lesson this morning and I didn't want to be too tired for that. But I've just sat and finished it. From initial reaction, I haven't put it through anything, but I think it's going to be a 4-star read. I really enjoyed the premise of it and the way it was told. I just have some issues with some of the subplots and some of where it went. But overall I enjoyed it and I thought it is well worth it. Laura Jane Williams' writing is very easy. I audiobooked The Lucky Escape a couple of months ago, earlier in, I think it was June. And I enjoyed that one as well, so And I've read I'll Stop, really enjoyed that one, that's probably my favourite, and The Love Square, which is possibly my least favourite, because I'm not a big love square person. That's not my favourite trope. So, happy to have read another one of hers. Easy read. Now though, and I don't know whether it's just me that does this, but when I finished a book, I struggle to just jump into another one. So either I can carry on with Happy Place on my phone. I do need to go like sort the dishwasher out and stuff like that, so I'm going to go and do that. Either I continue with Happy Place on my phone, which is possible because I'm halfway through that, so it doesn't feel like starting a new book. Or I stick on the audiobook for the first day of spring and potter about doing some stuff. I'm looking in the garden and all of the plants seem to have sprouted out again, so maybe I should go and pull some of them out again. I don't know. But I won't be jumping into another physical book just yet. My next read, I need to actually buy it from the Kindle store, is going to be a Faye Inked in Blood. I think that's the way around you say it. I don't know, I keep getting it wrong. By, I say Danielle Jensen, but that also might be wrong. I'll put in a picture of the cover here just so you know which book I'm actually talking about, because I don't know if I got any of the details right there. Because that is our book club pick, and I've got like a week, just over a week to read that, and I don't know how easy that book is to get through, so I need to probably make a start on that. I did have it ordered on Vinted, and it would have been slightly cheaper on Vinted, but the person that I was buying from didn't post it from to the first deadline, then extended it, and the deadline was today and they hadn't sent it yet, so I've cancelled that, and I'm just going to have to pay the Kindle price and then pray to the book gods that it doesn't go in the Kindle deals on the 1st of September, because that'll make me cry if I've spent like a £5 on it and then it goes down to 99p. But I just need to make a start on it, and that's going to be the next port of call for what I'm going to read. But I probably won't start that till sort of later on this evening, because I don't have huge amounts of time to read. She's currently asleep. I don't know if you can get to see that. I don't know how long I've got left on this nap with her. So again, I don't want to start a book if I'm not going to get much on it. So one book down. We're gonna I think I'm gonna go stick on the audiobook so I can go and do the dishwasher and things while that's playing, and then I'll make up my mind where I go from there. But yeah. Oh, in terms of timers, well, here you go. So the top one, as always, is the one with the audiobooks, so 8 hours and 52 minutes left on that. I've got 2 more days, possibly doable, but again, it's a whole family time, so maybe not. And then 15 hours and 28 minutes on the one where it's just reading a book, so that ain't happening, is it? So I think I'm going to fail the challenge, but it's been fun anyway. I suppose it's a good test to see how how much I can read whilst doing other things. I don't know what I'm rambling on about now. Anyway, I'm going to head off because I've been talking for nearly 5 minutes about not a lot, so let's go and actually do something. So there you have it. I managed to complete the challenge. So I've read across a week for 24 hours, which I suppose isn't a lot, but also it is a lot. As I said to you at the beginning of this video, I tend to only read for about maybe an hour and a half a day, so to have that increased, I suppose that is more with audiobooks, maybe 2 hours with audiobooks. So it did help. Obviously I had 2 timers, so I completed the challenge including audiobooks, which meant I could get on and do things while I was reading. But just in terms of actual physical reading, I have, if you can see that, 10 hours and 26 minutes and 24 seconds left. So even in like my physical reads, I have increased that a load over this week, which helps that I had the week off to do so, but there we go. So in total I finished 2 books and I'm 33% through the next. So we read Love Struck by Laura Jane Williams, which I gave 4 stars. Enjoyed that one. Was a easy romance, and obviously I've shared my thoughts throughout. I finished The First Day of Spring by Nancy Tucker and ended up giving that one 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed that audiobook. Would recommend. Obviously check trigger warnings because it is centred around a child killing a child. So definitely check the trigger warnings for that, but the narrator for that one did such a good job, and I thoroughly enjoyed is probably the wrong word, appreciated that book. And then I'm 33% through A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, which is about 138 pages and is the one that I'm reading on my Kindle. And I did do a few chapters of Happy Place on my phone, but I think I maybe did like 15% on that one, but I didn't really focus on that book much. So with the challenge itself, I found that it probably did encourage me to read, but also it didn't. There were times where I was like, oh, I know what I should be reading, I should be reading, but I just don't want to. So it put a bit of pressure on that I ignored. I also found that I was a bit bad at starting and ending the timer, so I think in the end it probably worked itself out and evened itself out, so that's why I'm counting it. But I did find that I was like, oh, I've been reading for 10 minutes and I haven't actually started this timer, or oops, I finished reading like 5 minutes ago, I forgot to turn it off. So there's that too. But it was fun to see what I could get done. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. Occasionally I might pop up with another book challenge, but every month I do a book review anyway, and then just general life vlogs and things like that. So if you're interested, as I said, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!